What really happened between the two Melissas of Little House on the Prairie? Why did it take Melissa Gilbert 61 years to finally reveal the truth about her relationship with Melissa Sue Anderson? And what secrets from their childhood stardom have been hidden from fans for decades? These are the questions that have haunted Little House on the Prairie fans for years, and now the answers are finally here. Melissa Ellen Gilbert was born on May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, California, to parents David Darlington and Kathy Wood. According to the provided document, her biological parents faced significant financial constraints and made the selfless decision to place her for adoption. Just one day after her birth, she was adopted by actors Paul Gilbert and his wife Barbara Crane. Paul Gilbert was a seasoned actor, while Barbara Crane brought her background as both an actress and dancer to the family. Growing up in this creative environment, Melissa was immersed in the arts from the very beginning. Her childhood wasn't without challenges. When she was 8 years old, her adoptive parents divorced. Tragically, her adoptive father, Paul Gilbert, passed away on February 13, 1976, after suffering a stroke. Through her mother's second marriage to Harold Abels, Melissa gained a half-sister, Sarah Rebecca Abels, born on January 29, 1975, who would later become known as Sarah Gilbert and achieve her own success on the television series Roseanne. From a remarkably young age, Melissa demonstrated exceptional talent. The document notes that she began working in commercials, including one for Alpo dog food alongside actor Lauren Green. But her career-defining moment came when she was cast as Laura Les, the second eldest daughter of Charles Les, played by Michael Landon in the NBC series Little House on the Prairie. The casting process was intensely competitive, with over 500 children auditioning for the role. Interestingly, as the source reveals, Melissa learned of her selection through Leslie Landon, Michael Landon's daughter, who attended the same school. Her brother, Jonathan Gilbert, also became part of the series, portraying Willie Olson. Production began in 1973, with the show airing from 1974 to 1983, becoming a cultural phenomenon that would define Melissa's life. But here's a question that's been burning in fans' minds. What was the real relationship between Melissa Gilbert and Melissa Sue Anderson behind the scenes? While Little House on the Prairie showed idyllic family dynamics on screen, the reality was far more complex. Melissa Gilbert expanded her career beyond the show, taking on roles in critically acclaimed productions such as The Miracle Worker in 1979, The Diary of Anne Frank in 1980, Splendor in the Grass in 1981, and Choices of the Heart in 1983, where she played the humanitarian Jean Donovan. According to the document, she also voiced Batgirl in Batman, the animated series during the 1990s, and appeared in 3 episodes of Babylon 5 in 1996 as Anna Sheridan, acting alongside her then-husband, Bruce Boxleitner. Her career had its ups and downs. The source mentions setbacks with productions like Little House, A New Beginning in 1982, Stand By Your Man in 1992, and Sweet Justice in 1994. Yet she persevered, even appearing in the television series Nip Tuck in 2006 as Sheer Noble, a patient undergoing a sensitive cosmetic procedure, demonstrating her willingness to tackle unconventional and mature material. Between 2008 and 2009, she returned to her roots, playing Caroline Ma in the musical adaptation of Little House on the Prairie, directed by Francesca Zambello. The production premiered at the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis and embarked on a national tour, concluding at the Starlight Theater in Kansas City, Missouri, in June 2010. In 2009, she shared her journey in her autobiography, A Prairie Tale, and in 2012, she competed in the 14th season of Dancing with the Stars, partnered with professional dancer Maxim Chmerkovsky. She was ultimately eliminated on her birthday in the 8th episode after demonstrating resilience, grace, and competitive spirit. Melissa Gilbert's ambitions extended beyond entertainment. On August 10, 2015, as the document reveals, she announced her candidacy for the United States House of Representatives from Michigan's 8th Congressional District in the 2016 elections. However, she ultimately withdrew from the race due to health complications stemming from a spinal injury. She also became a producer and director, founding her production company, Half Pint Productions, allowing her to take creative control over projects and foster the work of other artists. Melissa Gilbert's personal life was equally eventful. She married actor Bo Brinkman in 1988, known for his work in television and theater. The document describes Brinkman as an important figure in Melissa's life during a formative period as she transitioned from child star to mature actress. The marriage ended in divorce in 1994 after 6 years. Her second marriage was to Bruce Boxleitner in 1995, a prominent actor celebrated for his roles in science fiction television, such as Babylon 5 and Scarecrow and Mrs. King. This marriage lasted 16 years, during which they navigated the complexities of blending families, careers, and public scrutiny. Despite their mutual admiration and shared experiences, the marriage ended in 2011. In 2013, she found lasting love with Timothy Busfield, an accomplished actor and director known for his work on The West Wing and 30-something. The document describes this marriage as representing a more stable and mature chapter in her life, built on mutual respect, friendship, and shared values. Now, at 61, Melissa Gilbert has finally opened up about her complex relationship with Melissa Sue Anderson. According to the source, Gilbert said, "We had a connection from the very beginning. Being on Little House on the Prairie at such a young age, we were thrown into a world of fame and scrutiny, and that creates a unique kind of friendship, but it wasn't always smooth sailing." She elaborated that while their characters portrayed perfect dynamics on screen, the reality was different. "People saw us as perfect little girls with perfect lives," she admitted. "But the truth is we were just kids navigating a highly unusual environment." Gilbert reflected on how their friendship evolved over time. "We each had our own paths," she explained. "Sometimes those paths diverged, and that's natural. You can care for someone deeply and still need to find yourself apart from them." The document emphasizes that Gilbert made clear there was never animosity between them, but rather a recognition that growing up together in the spotlight creates a unique bond that doesn't conform to conventional friendship patterns. Despite the complexities, Gilbert expressed immense respect for Anderson. "Melissa Sue is one of the most genuine, talented people I've ever known," she said, according to the source. "Working alongside her taught me so much about professionalism, patience, and the power of quiet strength." She recalled how Anderson's dedication and focus inspired her to push herself further as both an actress and a person. The source also reveals that Gilbert highlighted the camaraderie they shared with other cast members, describing the sense of family that developed among the actors, crew, and producers on the Little House on the Prairie set. "I think age gives you perspective," Gilbert shared, as documented in the source. "When you're young, you hold on to feelings and judgments in ways that can distort reality. Now I can look back and see the whole picture with clarity. I can appreciate our shared history, all the good and the challenging moments, without needing to defend or explain myself to anyone." Her statement resonates with many who have followed her career, revealing a vulnerability and introspection that is both relatable and deeply human. The document makes it clear that Gilbert's decision to speak about Anderson now is not meant to settle old scores or relive conflicts, but to honor the complexity of a lifelong connection that has shaped both women's lives. Gilbert's comments remind fans that relationships formed in childhood, especially under the glare of fame, are often misunderstood by the public. People assume that because you work together on a show, you're automatically best friends forever, she noted. But friendship is not just about circumstance, it's about compatibility, timing, and shared experiences. Melissa Sue and I shared some of the most formative years of our lives together, and that bond will always exist, even if it looks different now than it did then. This revelation from Melissa Gilbert is not about settling old scores or reliving conflicts. Instead, it's about honoring the complexity of a lifelong connection that shaped both women's lives. Her honesty serves as a tribute not just to Melissa Sue Anderson, but to all friendships that grow, evolve, and endure in ways that may not always be visible to the outside world. It's a poignant reminder of the enduring impact of early experiences, the resilience required to navigate public life, and the nuanced truths behind the seemingly perfect image of childhood stardom. As the document concludes, Gilbert's reflections are a testament to the many friendships that may not always be visible to the outside world, but remain powerful and meaningful nonetheless.